give you a short encouragement from my house to yours. Over the last few days, we've been looking at the Psalms of Asaph and some of the songwriting habits that Asaph had. And one of them is asking questions, not just telling stories, but asking questions, questions of himself, questions about God, and questions actually directed to God. Some of those are things like, did I keep my heart pure for nothing? Did I keep myself innocent for no reason? How long, oh God, will you allow our enemies to insult you? Will you let them dishonor your name forever? Who can stand before you when your anger explodes? But also, God, how long will you be angry with us? Is that going to go on forever? Has God forgotten to be gracious? Has he slammed the door on compassion? Will he never again be kind to me? These are the types of honest questions that I think a lot of us can understand, especially in a time of uncertainty or of chaos. Somewhat like we're in the coronavirus right now, asking these questions: why has all of this happened, and where are you in this? And have you forgotten about us? Have you forgotten to be kind? But asking questions is only a part of the process. My mother taught me how to have conversations with people, and that included asking questions. But then it also included listening to the response. And Asaph includes sometimes a response from God, and sometimes that's also a question. So in Psalm 50, for example, God is talking to these people who are giving sacrifices, and he says, do I eat the meat of bulls? Do I drink the blood of goats? And these are rhetorical questions. Obviously, the answer is no, but God is saying, you're so concerned about the form of things and doing your sacrifices, but is that really what I need? And he later asked them, why bother reciting my decrees and pretending to obey my covenant when you obviously don't really obey it? So God asks questions as well, just as he's asked questions by Asaph. And there's this give and take in the conversation. I remember growing up and my father talking about praying like it was a conversation. He'd go out for a run and be like, yeah, so I was talking with God as we were going on, and this is what I said, and this is what God said back to me, and this is the way God talks to me. And I see that sort of a thing with Asaph, that Asaph seems to be someone who hears God asking questions, maybe in part because Asaph himself is someone who seems to like asking questions. And questions are throughout the Psalms. But when I think of prayer as a conversation, that also reminds me of today. So we're celebrating what's sometimes called Maundy Thursday, and it's a celebration of, or a commemoration of, the night that Jesus celebrates Passover with his disciples and institutes what's sometimes called the Eucharist or Communion or the Lord's Supper. And also that night when Jesus goes out to the Garden of Gethsemane and he prays to his Father before he knows he's going to be arrested and crucified. And as Jesus prays, he's bringing up some ideas and some thoughts for the Father, saying, if it's possible for this cup to be taken from me, which is the whole situation of being crucified, if it's possible for this to be taken away from me, okay, let's do that. And we don't hear, or we don't have written down the Father's response, but Jesus seems to get a response. And Jesus says, okay, not my will, but Father, your will be done. And so Jesus is having this conversation with God. And so my encouragement to you from the Psalms of Asaph and also from the experience of Jesus is be willing to be honest with God. You can ask him questions, but know that he might ask you some questions in return. And that's all part of the conversation. So start up a conversation with God. You might be interested to see what comes out of it.